Hi friends, welcome back to Sunshine Food. And you know what Sunshine Food is all about? Healthy African cuisine. Healthy African cuisine is like all the amazing things you can find under the sun. That's what Sunshine Food is all about. So today we've got really something exciting for you as usual. You know, we did the 3-course meal one time and it was such a big hit. We've come again with another one. So we've got something really exciting for you. 3-course meal, African dishes, and we're going to talk you through some of them. But of course, we'll present it all nicely and you're going to see what's possible with African foods. So my name is Joy Fido and welcome on board. Okay, so today what are we up to? We got, like I said, exciting things for you. We're going to start with pepper soup. And you know we did pepper soup before, but that was another type of pepper soup. Now pepper soup happens to be one of those popular meals in Nigeria in particular. I don't know about other African countries, but I know we really do love pepper soup. And there's so many types of pepper soup. I remember I mentioned that in the other video. So today we're coming with fish pepper soup. And not just any fish, but salmon head. You probably wonder why the head. Now you know how very expensive salmon can be, but what people don't know is the head also got a lot of flesh in it, and it's one of my delicacies. I absolutely love salmon head, so we want to show you how to really prepare your salmon head really, deliciously, and you enjoy it, so you also enjoying all the benefits of salmon plus more. So that's what the salmon head pepper soup is going to be about. So what are the great things in salmon? Omega-3 fatty acids, proteins, vitamins, you just name it, and it's got so much packed in it. So this is one of the fish you should be thinking about when you're thinking healthy fish. So you remember we said 3-course meal, so we've said the first one, that's fish pepper soup with salmon fish head. And then the next thing is going to be okra soup, one of my favorite soups. Okra is absolutely amazing when it comes to moving your bowels. That's one of the biggest things you should be looking at when you're thinking okra. I mean, there are some people who struggle to get things out of their system. So when you think, I want to eat healthy, I want food to flow in, out, okra is one of, because it's very slimy. So that's one of the benefits of okra. But of course, there's so many more. So it's a different type of okra. We've done okra before, but then we added some leaves. This time no leaves, and it's going to be okra with fish. So it's going to be lots of fishy food today. And what's the fish again? This time again, salmon, but this time whole salmon, not just the head. Whole salmon, and then we're adding some prawns. So it's all about seafood. There's going to be a hint of dry fish as well. So dry fish, prawns, and then whole salmon. So that's the main dish with gari, and gari is made from cassava, and that is a lot of fiber. So you remember we're talking about lots of things that are really healthy coming from the African roots. So the 3rd course is akara balls. Akara, and akara comes from beans, and beans is full of protein. So you see how healthy this whole food is. So the two main things, which is protein and fat and carbohydrate, it's all in there. So those are the things we think about when we're planning a meal for you. And this is what we put together in a 3-course meal for our food today. So let's look at the ingredients we need. Remember we said the 3rd course is akara balls, but of course you're not just going to eat akara without anything. So now typically when you're back home in Africa, in Nigeria, you'll be eating that with what we call akamu, and akamu comes from maize. But because we don't have access to akamu right now, so we're eating it with custard. Custard again contains a lot of carbohydrate, I would think, but the main reason we're using it is because of the sugar content that's going to go into the making of the custard. Remember, the 3rd course is mostly something savory and sweet. So the custard will contain lots of sweet to make you enjoy your 3rd course meal. So ingredients coming up. Okay, so the ingredients we need, the main thing we're looking at is the fish. So that's the main ingredient, which is the fish head, the salmon fish head. And you remember when we said it has a lot of flesh, so there's a lot of flesh in here that you can really enjoy the beauty or the nutrients in salmon. After that, the rest are just ingredients that you would normally use in cooking. So first thing here is garlic. And I have it all peeled right here. Ginger, that's optional, but I tend to love a lot of ginger in my food, so ginger is there. Ginger has been peeled. Onions, and so I've peeled 2 onions in there, and then onions peeled, garlic peeled, ginger peeled. Now the next big thing is your Maggi cube, which is just for taste. So I've peeled it or taken it out of the cover, and it's mainly for seasoning and for taste. Now when you say pepper soup, the next big thing anybody thinks of is pepper, and that's why they call it pepper soup. So you need a lot of pepper, especially with fish pepper soup, because fish can be really bland if you don't add a lot of pepper, and lots of people like it really spicy. So we need lots of spice in this fish pepper soup. And then that's the pepper. I've got about 7 peppers in here. Again, when it comes to spice, it's down to people. Some people don't want it that spicy, but I definitely do, and that's why we have a lot. And of course the variety or the type of pepper you're using also counts. What I have here is salt. So you're going to put a hint of salt. Remember, salt is not too healthy for you, but just put enough for taste. And so that's everything we have there. And then okay, so here we have spices. So that's rosemary, that's mint, that's mixed herbs, which is one of my favorite, and that's also mixed herbs. I'm not really using this because I think this is garlic, because I already have garlic. So I'm gonna put a bit of that in there when I blend everything. I'm gonna blend everything together and ready to cook. Okay, so here is bay leaf, one of those really nice smelling herbs that you can add to anything you're cooking. I'm gonna drop some of them in the pepper soup just to also give you a hint of really nice aroma and taste. Okay, so we're getting started. You get your pot, you put your fish in. Fish has been cleaned and washed. I've taken out all the gills. You may notice I have some prawns in there that just may be a bit tasty for a bit of prawns. So clean fish, put in your pot, get some hints of salt, not too much. Remember we said we don't want too much salt, a little bit, but as you go along you're going to be tasting it to see how things go. Now I've got this all nicely blended. That was whoops so everything's crashed. But anyway, that was all the ingredients I showed you earlier is what we have in here. Added some water, nicely blended, and then you pour it all in. That's all you need to do. Put all the ingredients in, put the heat on, and just let it start to simmer. Cover it, nicely cover it, so that it keeps all the taste in. And so heat is on, and we'll give it about 10 minutes. Let it start to simmer. Okay, so this is about 5-6 minutes. It's simmering. Don't let it cook. Don't make the heat too high. Then you start adding all your Maggi for seasoning. And I love to just break it. I don't just chuck it in, because when you break it, it actually really blends in really quick. I put about 5 Maggi in there just to give it that really good taste that we want to taste. And I'm just stirring it just a little bit. I'm going to drop the bay leaf in there as well. So drop as many as you want. I love to put like 2 or 3, 4, 5 sometimes. That's done. I'm going to cover it and allow it to simmer again for another 5-6 minutes. 6 minutes later, look at what you've been simmering, and turn the fish around just so that it starts to take the taste in the sauce. So I've turned the other one, so I've just turned this too now. And then you again cover it and let it continue to simmer. Now the whole idea is you really want some of that water to boil off. When you were blending, you also will not have needed to put a lot of water in your blending, so that it just takes a lot of the sauce, and after some time when it's really dried out, then you can pour a bit of water if you really like to have some liquid when you're having your pepper soup. But what I did, I added quite a lot of water in my blending because I had a lot I wanted to blend, and I was using a food processor, so I needed to get that done properly. But that's the liquid you're seeing there. You want it to really boil off, and then the fish will start bringing out some oily bits. That's the oil in the fish. So that's what we're waiting for now. So just allow it to keep simmering until that oil starts to float. Okay, so our soup is ready. Our pepper soup is ready. So there you go. There's not much water left here. You can see it's really dried out. Now, like I said earlier, if you're one who really likes to have lots of soup when you're eating your pepper soup, you may want to add some water. But for me, I'm fine with this. And now we're going to dish this, and then we're going to taste it and start eating. Okay, so now we're ready to cook our okra soup. And naturally you want to know what the ingredients are. So the first thing is the okra. Remember we talked about okra and what it does for your body. So next thing is our fish, and that's the salmon. This is 2 salmon, really nicely cut and cleaned and everything. We have there some little hints of prawns underneath it, but that you're going to see later in the soup. After that, we have our Maggi for seasoning, we have ginger for taste, garlic for taste and seasoning. Again, you know what all these things do to the body. Garlic is very good, antioxidants and all of that. Onions, same effect as garlic for taste as well. Some people actually do not go with Maggi because they think it's got a lot of things in it that are not healthy for the body. So what they tend to do, they put a lot of onions in their food. It's up to you, it's your choice. Then we have the Scotch bonnet, which is pepper. Now whenever you're cooking fish, you want a lot of pepper because fish usually naturally is very bland, and salmon is again one of those fish that comes really bland. So when you put lots of spices and hot things like pepper, they really help to bring out the taste. So that's why you need a lot of pepper in there. The next thing we have is our prawns, because we really want to make this come out really nice. That's why we decided to put like really massive king prawns. Those are the ones out there. And then the next thing you will naturally need is oil. We're going to put some oil, some palm oil in there. And then we have salt and the usual herbs and spices. Okay, so that's the fish head, or the dry fish we were talking about, that will show you. It's been fully dried. Again, got lots of flesh in it, so it's been soaked for some time in warm water. Usually you do that just to take away the sand from the fish, because when they dry it, I don't know, wood, whatever it is that they use in drying, so you need to really soak it, and then it takes out all of that sand, and then you wash it, and then you take out all your flesh. So all of these are flesh. And then we're going to add that just to give its own taste to the food we're going to make. You can still put the bone in there sometimes. Again, remember, it's just about taste, not necessarily what you want to eat. And then when you're eating, you just take it out. So you break it into pieces. And you don't want the gills. Normally they should take that out, but when they are drying fish, they don't really worry about that. So look out for just the flesh, and that's it. Good. Okay, so what we've done is we'll put the fish in the pot. Now what I did, I seasoned a little bit, and I put some spices and herbs in there. So I'm gonna just put some seasoning, just to, this time Maggi cube, which I hadn't put. All I did was spices earlier. Now the heat has to be low at this stage. Let it just start simmering. Now I won't pour everything, just a little bit. I'll pour everything else that I have, that I really want to use, or everything that I've got to use. Garlic, that was ginger, now garlic. Now onions. And then pepper. And I'll put just a little hint of water, just so that it gives it something to steam with. And just a little bit of salt, because I already had seasoned the fish with some salt earlier. That's it. And I'll put it on low heat, and I'll cover it for the fish to simmer. So now we come to see what we left to steam, and there we are. It's actually created its own water. Remember, we just put little hints of water. So what it's been doing is actually cooking in its own juice. So all that juice is now inside this fish, and it's going to come out really nice. Really nice. It's going to taste really nice. So what we're going to do now is start adding other ingredients. So the next thing we're going to add is the prawn. No, we won't add prawn yet, because that prawn is actually cooked. Remember, we had dry fish that we want to add to it, so we'll throw that in. Now what you're not doing is stirring. All you do is just shift things around, because if you start to stir, remember, it's fish and it's fresh fish, so what will happen is going to start breaking them. So you just let it drop in, give it room to just find a little space in the liquid, and move things around a little bit. And that's one of the reasons we use this wide pot, so that we can spread things out easily. So again, you allow it to steam some more and just begin to take. The different fishes are going to start sharing their sauce. So the dry fish will throw its own sauce in there, or its own taste in there. So cover again and allow it to steam. The prawns, king prawns. And I wish you were here because that dry fish has really taken over the aroma of this fish is really smelling so nice. Now we're going to let the prawns also take some of the sauce as well. Again, no messing around with it, just try and find some little space for it. In between this, I'm going to just add again a little hint of water, because otherwise I may not, because okra is very watery as well, so I don't really need water. So that's, we're going to just let this steam again, take that sauce, then okra is the last bit, and then we're done. But this is already looking so good, so good. Okay, so that prawn definitely has its own water as well. It's going to sip that into it. Now I'm going to add the remaining bits of seasoning that I hadn't added, just to also pick up with the prawn. Then this is where I include my oil. This again is going to bring a bit of liquid to it and some color. And that's it. So I'm going to let that simmer, and then we're going to add our okra and we're done. Okay guys, you can now see what we've got here. Absolutely stunning. That's all I can say about this. Just one of those soups that you really want to just start eating the minute you see it. It's created its own liquid. It's all in there. Doesn't need any more water. So we're now going to introduce our okra, and it's going to just finish off everything. Remember, we said we don't want any leaf in this, so it's just okra and that's it. Now the quantity of okra you decide to use is up to you. I know one of my little cousins who calls it okra pepper soup. So if you don't put too much, it will actually look like pepper soup. But this is not going to be pepper soup like, because it's going to be really, I'll say a bit thick. See that? So I'm not stirring, but I'm just trying to push the okra underneath what we've done. And if you're not really used to cooking fish, you'll find that some people may try this and the fish will be all over the place. So the trick to that is do not stir. The minute you stir, you lose your fish. It starts to break. So all I'm doing is just try and push things underneath. And one of the things I love about this food is the look. It's so aesthetically beautiful. I mean, I'm just one of those people who love pretty food. If my food doesn't look good, I don't really want to eat it. It's weird. So, colorful food I enjoy. And that's what this is all about. Just lots of color and of course lots of taste. And lots of nutrients for you, for your health. So here we go. All done. Now remember, with okra you don't want to overcook it. So once okra goes in, you're nearly there. Just no more than, I'll say, 3 minutes or even 2 minutes. Because okra doesn't need to cook. You cook it too much, you lose it. See, that is already drawing. And so our food is ready. Now to the dishing. Alright guys, so now we're done with this whole feast. I would like to call it feast because it's so much food. You know, when you really take time and do all this food and then you really can't eat it, that's exactly how I feel right now. So first thing was the pepper soup, and you can see it looking so rich and so ready to eat, everything jumping in, out in your face. And so you finish your pepper soup, and then you go into the main course, which is then the gari, and then this beautiful okra soup with salmon, fresh fish, and prawns, and king prawns, and a bit of dry fish. It's just so much. And once you're done with that, then you carry on with your custard. Really nicely done. We use evaporated milk, so you can imagine how sweet this is, and then some sugar. Now I naturally would not take sugar or evaporated milk, but when you're done with all that food and you want something sweet to finish it off, that's what this is about. Then with bits of akara to eat with it, and that's your meal done. Beautifully packed with nutrients and heavily done and amazingly designed. So that's our full 3-course African meal for you. You can't find this anywhere else, I would say, because people don't think this quick. They'll just go straight to one or go straight to the other. But we have it together here. And that's what Sunshine Food is about. Packaging, presentation, healthy meals, all from the Sunshine Land. So thank you so much for watching this video. We look forward to seeing the next one. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with your friends. And of course, subscribe. We have so much to show you on this channel. Thank you and God bless you.